Would be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Two things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the 1st down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
Burrow going for it on 4th. He's going to take another shot here. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Puts it on the carpet, it's out, and the Bengals grab it. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
We've got plenty of weather here today. We've got some snow going on, and they've come out of a dome. And there have been 2 ways of getting ready for this. Some have said, don't worry about the weather, just practice in your normal conditions and handle it on game day. And others have said, find some weather, find some conditions somewhere, and try and get ready. What do you think?
Well, whatever the preparation there, the snow causing the fumble. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Dancing to his left. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, so they've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you had there, because when you give him different looks and give any quarterback
there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts, passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball on a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
And it'll come out to the 25 as King opts for the touchback.
Let's go.
So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line, so it looked like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here?
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis.
Taking it right down Broadway. The 30. 10. 5. Touchdown, Houston. Chris Conley, 77 yards. And now the Texans are within a 2-point conversion of tying up this game. Well, we know that he can beat you in a number of ways. He can catch it short, he can take it long, or he can do what we just saw right there, catch it and then run with the football.
Yeah, and this just looked like a simple, ordinary play to start, but boy, did things change. Once he got free, it was off to the races, and once he hit high gear, there's absolutely no one who was going to stop him.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the catch on the next-gen stats. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And this is now a 1-point game. Brandon Wilson to return it. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of...
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Christian Kirksey. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Rolling to his left. to Mixon on the check down. Oh, he pulls over it. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes.
Oh, he shoves himself free. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with him, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
He'll get 4 yards of the carry there, and we will get to the end of the first quarter of play. Tight one, 8-7 our score after one on EA Sports. Mixon again, and Mixon not going to get there. Running into a wall here, and they'll stop him short. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. They'll try and throw forward with Burrow, escaping the pressure, and that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Joe Mixon there to make the grab, and the Bengals are able to grow their lead. Zach Taylor's made the decision. They'll go for 2 here. Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete. Well, split the difference, and they're right where they would have been with 2 PATs. They got the 2-point conversion the first time. They failed there.
Interesting, isn't it? Because the first time you go after your first score, that feels like a gamble. The second time when they tried it again, that felt like, what the heck, right? Because, as you said, even if you miss it, you split the difference, and you're right on schedule at 14 points.
Now comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
A first down throw for Mills. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. A gain of 6 there on first.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Mills on first.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
Mills now looks to throw on first down. And his throw here's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to...
On 2nd and 10, Mills. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Bengals grab it. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. First down. Here's Burrow. Flush to his right. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A big connection on that one. 30 yards. Jamar Chase with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions, and they're a PAT from going up 21-7.
Yeah, very impressive the way that they've moved the football. Full command of their...
And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. And now once again, they'll line up to go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. He'll buy some time right, and he's got it. So the try for 2 successful, and that bumps their lead up even further. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Bengals grab it, and he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line. So problems compounding themselves here on the return. They just give up the touchdown, and now they lose the football.
Yeah, partner, things are starting to unravel a little bit for them right in front of our eyes. They're going to be looking for some answers, and quickly.
Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Flushed out right. And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Bengals. It's Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd there to make the grab. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Zach Taylor's made the decision. They'll go for 2 here. Escaping the pressure right. This is caught. Was he in? Yes. 2 points. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
And here comes a return from and all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And the Bengals grab it. And they will set up shop red zone territory at the 13-yard line. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Oh, good move. Runs over it. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. From the 4, it's 2nd and a couple. Now it's Burrow. Forced out to his left. And he'll take this into the end zone for Bengals lead. Joe Burrow taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Bengals are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Now the Bengals will again line up to go for 2. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it. So a sack on a 2-point try. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
They got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. From a couple yards deep, and all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football, and the Bengals grab it, and he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Drew Sample, excellent work there to get in on the touchdown run, and the Bengals have got it on cruise control. Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and a rout is on here in this first half. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This taken in at the goal line. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football, and the Bengals grab it. And this is taken into the end zone, a fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. And that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. A good gain on first has them set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. The slant caught by Amendola. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Dumping it off for Johnson. Johnson on its poke free. Football's held. And the Bengals grab it.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, and this is one of the best runs you'll see. A lot of times on these long touchdowns, you'll say he gets into the end zone untouched, but not here. He fought his way through contact, and it barely even registered, and he just continued down the field all the way to the end zone.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taken at the goal line. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Bengals grab it. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And we'll see what they opt to do with just 14 seconds remaining until intermission. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon.
And just like that, on we head to half number 2.
You'd have to imagine, given the snowy condition, lots to talk about at halftime for these two coaching staffs. Plenty of decisions to be made for this second half for sure. And for the call, we hand it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
Indeed, Coach. Thanks very much. And that snow you alluded to showing no signs of stopping, at least in the foreseeable future. Not much has changed since we left you at halftime. The snow is still continuing to fall as we are back. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football, and the Bengals grab it. And this is taken into the end zone, a fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Terrence Mitchell. And the Texans are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
Well, as most teams do in their 2-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case here, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football, and the Bengals grab it. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. And here comes a return from just. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Bengals grab it. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line.
Oftentimes when we talk about piling on in any subject, it's a negative. In this case, for this team, it's a real positive. Just scored. Now they go down, knock the ball free, get it back. They got a chance to really increase their lead and put themselves in the driver's seat.
On the other side, a little insult added to the injury. They're in a bad spot. Throwing now, Burrow on first down. Flush to his right. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Bengals get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. McPherson now for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position. And only one play to score it. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. Desmond King now to return it. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator.
Touchdown, Houston. Brandon Cooks, 79 yards. And the Texans are able to make things a bit more respectable. Well, like so many wide receivers, he is a threat with the ball in his hands, and he's able to do his damage here after the catch. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. So they do get one score back, but ready to go here on their next drive. They'll roll him out, and he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Jonathan Grenard picks up his second sack of the afternoon. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Sliding out of the pocket. He will find his man Chase complete. He's at the 40, 20, 10. Touchdown Bengals. Jamar Chase, 93 yards. And the Bengals just continue.
Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked-off folks on the other sideline now.
Houston's offense taking over again. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind.
They'll look to throw. He's letting it fly for Cooks. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Cameron Johnston now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. On the move to his left. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
Brandon, there have been some memorable snow games for championships in the NFL. 1948. Philadelphia Eagles, Chicago Cardinals.
The most famous one of my lifetime, I think, is got to be 01, right? Raiders, Patriots, to send the Patriots to the Super Bowl.
You got a tuck roll, didn't you?
Yeah,
I think that's one people remember. But I also know this. In Miami, the infamous one, the snowplow game in New England, when they went out there and the Patriots had a guy come out and clear a spot on the field.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. Now he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play that time through the air. 35 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Rolling to his right. Open man is Chase, complete. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. They'll buy some time right. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody didn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Bengals grab it. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Back now in Cincinnati. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. And the incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Read it well, and it's picked. And the Texans force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another.
And it's out. He put it on the carpet, and the Bengals grab it. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big. Because when they throw him the football downfield, they count on him getting additional yardage almost every time. And that's exactly what he did there. Caught that, ran with it, all the way to the end zone. I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
Houston set to take over. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A second down throw from Mills. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Again, it's Mills. Finding some room at midfield. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble, and the Bengals grab it. And some room to work. And this will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th, it doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head. Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield? I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy. After what they've faced during this game, where they've given up. Zach Taylor's made the decision. He's going to go ahead and throw out the red challenge flag.
There we go. After review the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So a good decision that time by Zach Taylor. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Burrow. Touchdown Bengals. Joe Mixon from a yard out. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Now it's Burrow. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over.
And he loses the football a second time. And the Bengals grab it. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Now comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result. The benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means they have to run.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Mills. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete. Oh, looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. That one looks like he'll throw here, eluding the pressure right. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big connection on that one. 33 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Buying time to his left. Throw left side complete to Chase. And he works free. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Brother, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase. And down inside the 15 he goes.
I know that no game in the NFL is ever easy, but they're making it look that way. Everything is being done with such precision. Just on this drive alone, 3 plays, 3 first downs. If you're on defense, you're scrambling, looking at each other, trying to figure out how are we going to slow these guys down.
From the red zone now, here's Burrow 1st down. Flushed out right. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds a defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback, I've got to throw it. He bailed out the deep.
And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop